All right. Okay. We're live right now. Okay. Charlotte says she will log in 20 minutes. Okay. First and foremost, you guys could have been anywhere on a Wednesday, but you're here with me, so I thank you guys for taking a second out of your busy schedule to join me live. Just quickly, just hold on. Someone decided no, no. Just quickly, let's go around the group. Just introduce yourself. Just your names. You don't have to. Just your names, real quick. Um, Starting from the top and work your way down to the lovely ladies to the bottom. All right, guys. Ontario.
Oh,
Anyway,
you ain't said it. Oh, yeah.
Ontario. We
Oh,
have
there you go.
Yusuf. We have Miss Anishka, and we have Jess. And look at that's Sunita. That's you, Sunita.
Yes, it is.
Sunita, you need to. Why you want me to see your face, girl?
Because I'm driving and I don't want to tell the person to get locked up.
All right. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep you guys too late tonight. We're gonna jump into our first topic. I know you guys. The reason why I assembled you guys here because I think you're all intelligent. I think you're all intelligent and logical, and you're not going to be emotional. You're going to be logical. So that's why I assembled this group here. Anyhow, the first topic, and what you think it is, was the first topic. Y'all ready for it? All right, that's your first topic. Hold on, wait, let me find it. That's the first topic. Wow. That's the first topic. Here's the question to that topic. Y'all can see the topic?
Yes.
All right. The first topic is illegal immigration in the 242 in the Bahamas. I know this can be quick, not long, nothing drawn out. Here's the first question. I have 3 questions when it comes to this topic. Do you think we have a small, medium, or large illegal immigration problem in the country? So, anyone can answer.
I don't think the number there. Small, medium, and large. That ain't big enough.
You feel like we have a large problem?
That's extremely. It is ridiculous, actually.
Ontario, what about you? You have a small, medium, or large problem as it relates to
What is
immigration.
it?
As it relates to illegal immigration, do you think we have a small, medium, or large problem?
In comparison to other countries in the region and around the world, it's medium.
You sound like a politician already.
No. It ain't that. It's just, I mean, with regard to the numbers, I mean, it's not as bad as most countries. But we do have for our populace and for our, it's a large problem from our standpoint. But from a world standpoint, it's a small problem. We just don't handle it well.
That's fair.
Um,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let me take this one from here. We have a large immigration problem. And our problem is large, not necessarily because we can't deal with the problem, it's because we don't have nothing in place to deal with it. You understand? The politicians go in the court and this and that and whatever have you. I think Anishka will be the first one to tell you. We functioning like a banana republic. Jonathan, if you want build a chicken shack in this country, you need a permit from the Ministry of Works and a permit building license number. You understand? And if you try to build something on your own property, they make you break it down, they will lock you up. But you see all these shanty towns that we have in your place, but if you put them in court to try to repatriate them or to send them back or to make them break down this, you're going to have some prominent attorneys in this country fighting for them, saying that they have rights and privileges that we as Bahamians
No, you're
don't
going
have
too far.
that we can't do.
Hold on. So you
I
feel like we have a large
understand.
problem? Yeah, hold on.
We have a large problem.
Hold on.
Two sides is large dealing with the problem.
I have additional questions. That's why I don't want you to go too far. I don't want you to jump ahead. Anishka.
Okay.
From all appearances, I'm hearing the cries of the what it seems like the everyday Bahamian individual citizen. It appears we have a large problem. And you speak about illegal immigration, so I'm not speaking necessarily of one particular grouping of people per se over another.
Oh, I think she frees.
problem.
Okay. Jess?
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
I agree with her. I mean, I agree with everybody on what they say. I think it's like this medium to large. It's definitely not small. So yeah, I agree with them.
All right. I hear this particular term or a word get tossed around all about. And so here's the question. Do you feel, and y'all can be honest, the reason why I pick you all is you're all emotional, you're all logical, and you're all intelligent. So you all articulate yourself properly. Do you feel that Bahamians are xenophobic? And before you answer, I want to give you the definition of xenophobic. The definition is a strong feeling of dislike or fear of people from other countries. Do you feel that Bahamians they have a strong feeling or dislike or fear of people from other countries? Do you think Bahamians are xenophobic? Anybody could answer that.
I don't believe
No.
so. Because
I don't believe.
we welcome other cultures here. We welcome other people here with open arms. We welcome anything that we believe could make us prosper. It don't matter whether it's the Russians, the Chinese, or whatever it is, because we support all of them in every neighborhood in every capacity. However, when it comes to a nation that we view as historically problematic in the sense of, I guess, when they look at, like, I don't think Bahamians look at Cubans, Jamaicans, they don't put all those Haitians, they don't put all those in the same barrel. You look at a Cuban or a person of Latin descent, the Bahamians don't think that they're a strain on the economy. They think
Mm.
that they may be taking some of your man, or some of these women, but they don't believe it's that. When they look at Jamaicans, they don't think the same thing. Again, you see a group of people that come into a country and they make themselves a part of the country by working, etc. So Jamaicans, again, people don't view it that way. They may have some problematic Jamaicans in certain capacity. Some people don't like certain Jamaicans in certain capacity. But again, it's still the work, their ethics and the way that they operate doesn't make a Bahamian hate them. I think it's people look at the Haitian diaspora as a people that run from their country, that brag about their country, then they come here and we feel like they just suck the life out of our country or take our resources or take our land. Like you said earlier, there's a lot of things that people see that they take, and they Bahamians do not take to that aspect of illegal immigration. Because if we go to another country, as far as when we go to America, I mean, we have a history of illegally immigrating. We go birth our kids in the U.S., then send them back for college, dual citizenships, etc. But we don't see it the same way. We see ourselves as being more industrial and more cooperative people, where we go to countries, we apply, and we do everything the legal way versus coming in under the cloak and trying to operate under the table. So I think that's where Bahamians have this little, thing with different cultures. But that's my opinion.
Let me get Sunita jump in there. What do you feel? Do you believe Bahamians are xenophobic?
To answer your question, I'm going to say no. Um, if I was to piggyback on what, sorry, I didn't get it. If I was to piggyback on what he was saying, if I was to piggyback on what he was saying, I think there's a difference. Answer your question is no. But to piggyback on what he was saying, the problem I think what Bahamians have, now I drive it. So the problem what I think Bahamians have is if you were to differentiate the different nationalities, all these nationalities, to be real and honest with you, from what I know, they're all just passing through in order to get to the United States, from what I know. However, I'm sorry to say, Haitians, on the other hand, they come, they fought, like what my customs officer friend was saying earlier. They come, they fought, and they do whatever they feel like doing in our country. But to answer your question, no, I don't think we have an issue with any other nationality. I think we have a problem with what our government is allowing to happen in our country. That's my
Um, Jess, what do you feel, Jess? Do you feel the question is, do you feel Bahamians are xenophobic?
Because overall, I would say from what I have seen, I think that um, the older generation of Bahamians are, especially towards Haitians. Um, I've seen from my personal experience, even in public, these older people like they let you know straight off the bat they hate Haitians. I remember this old woman saying she'll kill her daughter if her daughter bring anybody that's a Haitian to marry her. I've seen a lot of Bahamians that don't like Jamaicans. When it comes to like Cubans, Chinese, people of I wouldn't say white, but people who aren't black, basically, they don't seem to notice them. But the ones that are black, Haitians, Jamaicans, the I guess they would call them more of the problem. Yeah, they are xenophobic towards those people from what I have seen. So yeah, that's
So
what
that
I feel.
you feel that entirely overall, you feel that in general, because you or Behemoths
I
are
think it's more of the older generation. I think more of the newer people have are more accepting, and Bahamians just the newer ones they just have a problem when they come illegally. But the older generation, for the most part, like um they are, and they like they grow you up with this dislike. It's almost like racism. Like you don't even know why you don't like these people. They just telling you like they just say that you grow up with it and tell you form an opinion for yourself.
mm,
It's the older ones.
okay. Uh, Anishka, you want to jump in real quick?
Um, my thing is, it's a very difficult question because a lot of people, I think, take this view of xenophobia out of context. And just you were going to ask when you asked a question, I was going back to let me get the specific definition.
That's why I said the
Um,
definition.
yeah, I know. And my thing is, at the end of the day, I don't think Bahamians are any more what people perceive us to be xenophobic than any other nation. I think what is really happening is there's an underlying issue. There's a major underlying issue afoot. People are frustrated, and that is the root cause of what is happening in our society. A root cause of you see the manifestation in terms of frustration, etc. Um, and that is what is perceived as xenophobia, I think. Okay, because you can label and put a broad brush on things, but in order to truly be labeled something for what it is, I think you need to have a deeper or a proper assessment as to what's going on. And I think at the heart and at the root of what's happening in our country, people are simply frustrated at what seems to be, persons just coming into the country and just abusing the laws and doing whatever they want to do, and it's creating a frustration. As it relates to the white and black, I don't necessarily feel that there are not perceived prejudices against whites as well. But what you have is you don't have a lot of other nationalities, for example, who integrate themselves in the community, in the general community of blacks in our country, like maybe the Jamaicans or the Haitians would, or the darker hue nationals who come to our country. Okay, if for example, because you would see Bahamians now complaining even about Chinese, so I think over time what is perceived as xenophobia more or less has to be closely examined. I think it's coming from a lot of frustrations over years. It seems not to be a situation that is not being controlled, not properly organized, like people feel exploited, and that's what's coming to the surface.
Let me just tell Lauren what's the topic for this particular the question for this particular topic. Um, do you feel Lauren? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear. The question is, do you feel Bahamians are xenophobic? Um, Go ahead, Yusuf. You're on mute. Oh. Go ahead.
I don't feel that way. I think because you can hear me now.
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel it's just a mind thing. I feel as if anybody who's up in age, who's 20 or 30 or older, I feel as if they either have a Haitian relative or a Haitian friend, or they either grow up with a Haitian, or they either work and be around people of Haitian descent. At some point in time in life, you can bug these people. Don't get me wrong. Our Haitian brothers and sisters, they hardworking people. But I think when most people hear Haitians, right, I think that they think of them as they live in a shanty town, they poor, they broke, and they are a burden on the government. And so from that perspective, yeah, if we xenophobic from that perspective. But I think it's just a culture that we grew up in that taught us that we are better than Haitians or vice versa. But we work around these people every day.
And we're getting off this topic. This is the last question for this topic, and then we offer it. And then, I want you to answer this as honestly and quickly as possible. Why does it seem like this administration and past administrations tend to look the other way when it comes to the creation of shanty towns, allowing a certain portion of the population to build legally, while prohibiting others from breaking the same laws or doing the same? That's the last question on this. Answer that quickly.
My answer is I don't know. So I'm done. I honestly don't know. It's been happening for years. I don't know.
That's a there's no wrong answers. Go ahead.
My camera looks as if is it frozen?
No, I can see you. You're not frozen. No.
My thing is, I think if I may, I think what we perceive to be a governmental issue is just an everyday Bahamian citizen issue, and whether or not we've taken responsibility as well in our everyday lives. You see, if it's six of us, I think it's 6 or 7 of us on this platform right now. If each of us are breaking the law over time, if you will see a bigger problem, because each of us, it may look like if only me one doing something, it may seem small to me. If the next person is doing something, it may seem small, but once all of us start doing it and bring those small things and together, it creates a bigger problem. I think what is happening in our society is, because if you look at a lot of the relationships and the integrations of a lot of different, not only Haitians, of a lot of different nationalities amongst us, I think it's very difficult from a human standpoint to not see the humanity in the situation. Even though you may talk about, oh yeah, for them to go and all that different stuff, when you now have to deal with these situations specifically, you just might be touching someone who you grew up with. You just might be touching someone who's familiar or who's a family member or a friend of somebody who is very closely related to you. And I think that's what our government has found themselves in the same situation. You understand what I'm saying? We expect them to do more about the situation, but the reality is, I think they face realistically with the same attitudes that we deal with every day. When you look at a lot of people are still hiring illegal migrants all the time. If you look at some sites and all that different stuff, if you see the behaviors of certain people, they're still pushing a lot of illegal situations, and they don't see anything wrong with it. But as a collective, it's causing a problem. I mean, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I totally agree. I agree that I understand.
Very good points.
Because nobody's specifically addressing the what needs to happen in the situation.
Lauren want to get in. She want to answer the xenophobic question. Go ahead, Lauren. Answer the xenophobic. Do you believe Bahamians are xenophobic?
No. Good night, everyone. I know for a fact that Bahamians are so far from xenophobic. you know, that they can be. Bahamians don't hate other nationalities. Bahamians are now struggling with some really serious challenges in immigration, illegal immigration. It so happens that there are some countries who contribute more heavily than other countries. And I think sometimes it appears as though there's a crossover from xenophobia to just the challenge with illegal immigration. So I think that anything that you find Bahamians speaking to, it would really be the illegal immigration, not an issue of xenophobia at all.
So you feel like they're more frustrated, like
It's definitely a frustration for sure.
My take.
all right, let's go back.
Well, I mean, we have a serious illegal immigration problem, and we do have some key countries that are contributing to that. So I think that there is an outcry from Bahamians as to when are we going to take control, like many of the presenters said tonight, of our illegal immigration situation. So there's that. I think there are people, whether intentionally or unintentionally, that try to cross that over and call it xenophobia, but that's not what it is. I think they're misunderstanding what the outcry is. The outcry is not against any nationality. It's really against illegal immigration.
And that's the last question on this topic was, why does it seem like this administration and past administrations tend to look the other way when it comes to the creation of shanty towns, allowing a certain portion of the population to build illegally while prohibiting others from breaking the same laws or doing the same? Okay. Lauren, you want to answer? You want to jump in and answer?
That's a topic for another day.
I'd give you a small point, Jonathan. Realistically, most Bahamians, a lot of things we don't know about building codes here. That if I build a place, I could build a little piece on the back of my house, whatever, blah, 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 like that. You can get away with stuff like that. But I think I don't know the lady's name, but she made a point, like when one person does something illegal, if I don't pay my VAT, or if I don't pay my tax, or if I don't pay my customs, right? And she looks over that for me, and then she needs something done, and they look over that. We have a culture of looking the other way when it comes to a lot of different aspects, and we don't understand that it's still a trickle down effect in everything else, because we are so accustomed to either not doing the job that we get paid for, or doing a favor for the job that we getting paid for, to subsidize our pay. So a lot of these times, like you say, these people who live in these shanty towns, we all know they live in the shanty towns. I'm sure immigration knows the shanty town exists. I'm sure the police force, the government, the prime minister himself knows every place that illegal immigrants live. However, there is always the position that these people have taken, like any other illegal immigrant anywhere else in the world, where they pay to play. They pay to be there. There's somebody that's being paid to not look there. There's somebody being paid to not bring attention there. And even if the attention is brought there, there's somebody being paid to manage that attention. So that's been our culture from the very beginning, from piracy, from we the tax haven. We are a nation of looking the other way when things aren't right. And now that we have the position of we have the opportunity to look our own way when our own things going wrong, and we still don't. And it goes back to what she says again, where we have friends, we have family in some cases, we have close relatives, we have just people that we know, we have workers, we have relationships with these people, and you may not call it out on them. If they get in lockup, you may be the very one standing saying, no, don't let them go. So exactly. It's an attachment that people have created because systematically we have a history of not looking there. So all the development that should have been, the things that should have been thwarted from the very beginning, that were overlooked, come in to bite us in the backside now, because it's harder to tell people leave when they have generations of people that's been here.
So
it's hard to tell them, so go ahead. Sorry.
My question is, why then prohibit the other portion from doing the same thing then? Why allow...
When you say the other portion, what do you mean?
Well, you have a certain portion allowed to build shanty towns when it seems...
You still don't get the point of what I'm saying. It is pay. See, you're saying allowed. Those people aren't paying to build the shanty town. They ain't paying the tax. They ain't paying the bill to be. They ain't paying to play. If they're not paying to play, then they get booted out. That's
I
the
guess your
reality
point.
of this life.
Well,
Yeah, so
you know what the other thing is there is a business, an underground business, that facilitates illegal immigration and other things. I don't know if that's what he's alluding to,
that's what I'm alluding to. Yeah, yeah.
but
Let's
that's what it
understand this.
is, and that's
The
what
property that
our
they're
reality
on,
is. So there's an
right?
underground business that includes illegal immigrants and Bahamians. And so that's an issue that needs to also be addressed if we really want to look at the whole picture.
And I always want you to understand this. I'm Jonathan. The properties that they utilize to build shanty towns are not vacant, abandoned little parcels. These are acreages.
That's
These are
right.
hectares. These
I
are
agree.
20 acres, 5, 10 acres of land, undeveloped in the middle of, or be close by the beach, close to resources, close to everything that they need, electricity, whatever it is. Somebody is allowing them to be there. We have a
Not
squatters
just
law, which means that
allowing, someone is actually
renting it to them.
facilitating that
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's facilitation.
and
Yeah,
providing resources. Yes.
yeah. They went to
Um,
shanty town the other day. These guys got hurricane in back window. Somebody doing it.
Nishka,
Just
you
saying.
wanna answer that? This is hearing this. I don't know what to say.
But like I said, for me too, to be honest with you, because I know I went to school with, for example, Haitian nationals. I know they seem to be the most prevalent, along with maybe the Jamaican nationals as well. And to be
And
honest with
Chinese.
you, well, I never went to school. I came out of the public school system for the most. I went through the private school system, but I graduated from C.R. Walker. And I have some very good friends who are of Haitian descent, you know. And my thing is, like I said, I think this is where we have to be objective and fair in what we're dealing with. Because if we're dealing with it from an objective standpoint, then there's no need to pick out or seemingly pick out just one nationality. We would be addressing all of the most of the problem that we have. For example, back in these gated communities, we are paying attention to the everyday, what seems to be the everyday takeover, but what's happening in other areas as well of our society with immigration and illegal immigration. You see, when you talk about illegal immigration, you have to consider all aspects of it. You understand? And at the root of this whole problem is, in fact, corruption. That's the root of it. And until we address our problem of corruption in our society, we will always have that view where, okay, you're dealing with this situation today, but tomorrow, if it touches and concerns something that matters to you or someone that is related to you, you're not going to touch it. You understand? We need a more objective approach to this. You know, we really do. Where nobody's allowed to get away with the nonsense. You understand? No one is allowed to get away with it.
Sunita, did you have a question?
Pardon me?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear the question.
The question is, once more, there's a lot. We get this the last question on this topic of illegal immigration. We're getting off this right now. Here's the question: why does it seem like this administration and past administrations tend to look the other way when it comes to the creation of shanty towns, allowing a certain portion of the population to build illegally?
Say that again.
Say what again? The whole thing? Okay, once more. Come close.
Yeah, because you keep breaking. You're going in and out. Mm-hmm. I have you in my ear, so yeah.
That's probably why. Anyway, why does it seem like this administration? See, you're freezing up and all. What you got? BTC? You can hear me now?
No, I actually have what them people named Obama say.
Yeah. Okay. One more time. Why does it seem like this administration and past administrations tend to look the other way when it comes to the creation of shanty towns, allowing a certain portion of the population to build illegally, while prohibiting others from breaking the same laws or doing the same?
Well, from what I could remember, remember, or from what I've heard, I don't really have any. I don't have any facts, so to speak, but I've known that it's been said that persons in shantytowns have been used for political gain. That's what I've heard. That's why I heard that they were allowed to do that. So, but like I said, I have no facts in regards to it. So I'm just thinking that they just use it for their own watch it be am I on this thing? I think they just use
that's cable Bahamas, eh?
Yeah, because BTC has fiber, which is what I'm using.
You trying to diss? Y'all trying to diss?
That's why I laugh when you ask if she had BTC. I'm like, what?
I between BTC and Cable Bahamas. I'm home now, so I'm on Wi-Fi, and on my phone is BTC. So go figure. I shouldn't even have no breaks, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
right,
that's just how I feel. I mean, Go ahead.
Yes, let me go to a whole entirely different topic because that's a heavy topic. Let me go to a different topic. But I want you to watch this video real quick and tell me and give me. And I'm going to ask you a question, okay?
I just want to see if anybody relate, any mother can relate. Because I was at a party and all the adults had children, but all of them were girls, right? Mm-hmm. So they're hanging out, whatever, and they're all like, oh, let's paint our nails. And my son's the only boy there. Mm-hmm. So he's like, well, can I? And I froze for like 30 minutes. Like,
he's like, what do you say?
And all the black people around me were like,
looking at you like,
and I said, and I was like, it was the scariest in the world. I don't care if people feel that scared. No, and I was like, well, maybe you could paint her nail because that's masculine, right? Like you painted her nail, but you're not painting your own. He's like, nah, I just think I want to paint mine though. And so then one guy next to me like, oh, he's gay. And I'm like, he's not gay. What? He's never experienced, he's never said anything about sexuality or liking anybody. Ooh. So don't say that he's gay just because he's with a group of other little girls that wanted this situation has the black community in a chokehold.
I was just saying, we talked about that last time. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a mother of 3 black boys. I'm a mother of 3 black boys. And I will tell you, 100% transparency. When my son is 12, my oldest is 12. When he was 6, I had to catch myself from stop doing that. Stop doing that. That's what girls stop doing. I had to stop myself from doing that. And I felt very convicted by doing that to my child because let them be a.
So here's the question. What would you do if your son wanted the penis nails? Let's say a bunch of girls, you go to a girl party and, we're in 2023 now where, we gender fluid and whatever. How would you feel as a father or mother if your boy wants the penis nails, probably even want to dress up in girls' clothing? How would you, as a mother, how would you guys feel about that?
I have a question. Who's gender fluid?
No. I'm saying no one's gender fluid here. I don't think so. I think everybody's female and male. I mean, anyway, the question. That's the
you
thing.
ain't gotta be scared to say it on here, but everybody's male and female. Say it right.
No, I ain't scared to say it. The question is, how would you feel as a mother if your son came to you, or your young son came to you and said, "Mommy, I want to paint my nails like Missy down the road does it," or what would you say as a mother, as a parent? As a father. You don't all jumping at once now.
Is that the real question, though?
That's one question, but I mean, basically, what you saw on the video, what's your reaction to
Is the question really about the nails?
Yeah, that was the video about the nails.
No, is your question about nails? What's your real question?
That's the question about nails.
Okay. I mean, I would not let my son do that. That's just my personal view.
Me neither.
No way.
I agree with her.
But what about being okay?
You know about being nothing. He could put a clear coat on. He could put a clear coat on his finger.
Yeah, there's nothing.
That was an easy one.
I won't do it.
I really don't care who wrong. I just tell him no. That's a no. You got to go on.
Yeah.
That was an option.
All right, so that's Okay, I just wanted to see your opinion so we can just transition to the next question.
We're not doing that.
Not doing what? Not doing what?
When you say your young son, right? How old are we talking? Like what? 5?
I'm not doing the nails for the guys.
How old is the child?
5, 6,
She
7.
said 12. She said the child was 12.
No, yeah. She said her son is 12, but the other son was like 5 or 6. It was 2.
So yeah, I would tell him no, because that's what I stand on. But I would also explain to him that
For me, any age that's a minor is a no.
What's that?
You say any age for a minor is no.
No, I'm saying it's a no all around, but I would explain to him why I don't want to.
For me, no, I'm saying for me, any age that's a minor, I would say no.
Yeah.
See, I can't say too much because I just get manicures, right? But I just get a clear coat put on my finger. He could get a clear coat, but the rest of that ain't gonna fly. Nope, none of that.
He get a clear coat.
We could go to the spa and get our hand foot done. That's no problem. Daddy
Get a manicure.
But we can get a mani and pedi. That's no problem. But we ain't doing the colorful and no, bro. Let's skip that. Let's not do that.
All right. Listen, we're progressive. We signed into a lot of treaties, and so far, our governments have signed into a lot of treaties, and we're progressive as a nation. So I want to show you a video, and I want your true and honest opinion about this new. I don't think it's new, but let's watch the video.
This is Carl, my husband of 26 years, and this is Tiger, my husband of 10 years. Look at this. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Carl and I are entrepreneurs. We run several companies online, and we've written several books together.
For a living, I'm an investor. I sit around and look at numbers and charts and watch stock market all day.
Every lady should have 2 husbands. I'm legally married to Carl for the past 26 years. We have 3 kids together. When we decided that we wanted to have this multiple relationship structure in our marriage, we went straight to our kids and talked to them about it. We told them exactly what it was, exactly what it was not, and we always kept the door open for them to ask questions, share their thoughts, opinions, feelings, and we always supported them.
All right. Get a different task.
Well, you get the gist of it. In 2023. Let's go. Anyone can answer. How you feel about that? Answer first, man.
Okay.
Me, but I can't share no. I can't share no woman, boy. Not a day like that. That's all right. No, that's a no for me.
For me, I'm additional in my views. To be honest with you. So, I mean, that may be considered boring to most persons, especially nowadays, we consider it. But that being said, that's not something I agree with.
So you don't feel like polygamy could work in the Bahamas? Or, in your opinion? For you?
You like, with the number of people we have, like to be marrying your cousins, but outside of that, my thing is that's not all of that. My thing is I try to keep life for me basic and simple, and that, you know, with God's help, that all that confusion and extra, I prefer to do without.
Lauren.
Now for them, I'll be frank, it ain't confusion and extra for them, right? I mean, on one end, by the way we operate the society, some of them might as well just go do like a sweethearting in the same capacity. You might as well, the wife don't know who the sweetheart is and the husband know who the wife cheating with. So in some cases over here, they might as well just get married and be one unit because they'd be more productive and save more money versus buying all kind of hotel and things and spending all the money and wasting it hiding. But on my perspective, like I said, it's a no.
So you said that would help reduce sweetheart.
You know what's so crazy?
I think it would reduce cost and strain on family finances because people will be wasting money going to all these hotel and motel, and the husband know they in there or the wife know where he is and she know what he doing, and he go make a baby with the gal or she make a friggin'. Everybody, the whole country know what you're doing. You ain't like you hiding from nobody. You just hiding from your one wife or your one husband. You might as well just move in and call it a day because you could divorce and go with the same person anyway.
Yeah, but
In
all
their case.
three of those parties need to agree on that. That's the
So
difference. They all have to agree.
Right, but how many times have you seen a woman, right, who husband is known to be cheating, and because he have resources, she said, "I know, just as long as he don't bring that to my house, or as long everybody could tell her what he doing, everybody could tell her about the young girl who car he buy or whatever he dealing with, right? We all know the stories like that. It's easier for him to just let his wife get adopted to and move the girl in, and y'all just live together as a happy tree, whatever the hell you want to call it. And like I said, in some cases it may work, other cases like not. But I'm saying." For the way that I've seen people operate here in relationship and in marriage with infidelity, in some of these cases, they might as well take that route. But like I said, for me and for maybe some of y'all, that's an impossible route. I would never do that. I wouldn't waste my time doing that.
So if I may comment, I don't think that these type of relationships should be attached to the word marriage personally. For me, the traditional marriage is the ideal concept. I think that aside from that, free will should, to me, always be the order of the day. But I feel like if you want to be non-committal, I think you shouldn't get married to anyone. I think you should stay single and, you know, and do whatever makes you happy in the spirit of honesty, where you're not deceiving anyone. But I don't think that, like in this case, I think the video that you sent, she was married to one man, and through their marriage, at some point, she decided she wanted to add another person. I don't think that concept is sustainable, really, because there's too many unknowns, and for me, I just don't think that it makes for a match with the word marriage. That's my opinion on that.
I agree with you as well.
Sunita, what do you think?
Hey, go in the room with that noise.
While I don't agree with that, I'm quite certain that I'm not sure if everybody on this panel believes in the Bible or not. But if we go back and we use the word traditional, if we go back to the Bible days, we had kings who had numerous wives. Just putting it out there. But I'm just saying, I don't believe in it personally. I don't believe in that personally, but we all say we believe in the Bible. We've all read the Bible. And in the Bible, you have kings who had wives all over the place. So it's just a little iffy for me.
But if I may, in that instance with this lady.
On that note, remember too, in the Bible, a wife was not.
Hold on.
Two of y'all talking the same time.
Hold on. Nishka talk, and then Lauren, Al, you'll talk. Go ahead, Nishka.
I'm saying because when I use the terminology traditional, even while you speak about kings from the Old Testament, in that instance, in this particular recording, this lady, because I saw the entire thing before, this lady was married to one man. Mm-hmm. And I don't know many females in the Bible married several men, but in any event, she married one husband, and she was having extra affairs throughout her marriage, and then she eventually persuaded her husband to add this other particular individual, right? You know, my whole thing is I do believe in the Bible. I'm a believer. And I'm just simply saying that it just seems, you know, all of these things, it just seems like a recipe for disaster and confusion. You know,
I agree. No, don't get me wrong. I agree, but I'm just saying when we use the word traditional, if we go back.
No, traditional doesn't necessarily. Traditional doesn't automatically mean the Bible, but if we talk about the Bible, you have to also remember that in the Bible, a marriage wasn't necessarily what we call it today. It wasn't just a ceremony. Sometimes they said that if a man met a woman and he knew her, as in the Bible, that was a marriage. So you have that component. And on top of that, You also have the fact that if you're referring to the Old Testament, there are a lot of things that happened in the Old Testament that were just for your history, for your knowledge. I don't think that there was a claim that some of these concepts were the right way to go, and they didn't fall within any of the instruction by the Bible. So if you talk about the instruction chapters of the Bible and the books in the Bible that gave instruction, none of them talked about multiple spouses for men or women.
Jess, would you be down? If he taking care of the bills,
Repeat that for me.
if he's taking care of all the bills, would you be down with polygamy?
I don't think that's not for me, but I think like what's his name, Ontario said earlier. I believe that a lot of the marriages in the Bahamas, they really need to just go that route, because a lot of people are stepping out continuously on their marriages. A lot of these people need to live free lives and not be lying and deceiving other people, and just be with who they want to be with. So over here, I think that this concept, they need to use this concept here, because it's too much of this foolishness what they doing.
Without the word marriage, though, like take marriage out of the equation.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah, they don't need to get married, but
yeah, just be free.
Polygamous, yes.
Yeah.
Do that and just tell everybody the truth.
Yes.
All right.
Agreed.
All right.
But even for instance too, those people in what is perceived or what is like those polygamous relationships, persons are aware that the other party is engaging with another party. You understand clearly?
As in an open marriage, right?
When I got married, nobody agreed to no sweethearting or no third deal or anybody coming into that. That was never an agreement, you know. So I don't ever want it to be anything to be added to my marriage. Me personally.
So y'all can't be polygamous, but other people from the get-go, if you meet a man and a man tell you, hey, one woman can't satisfy me, I love you, but I need another woman. He gets another woman, you agree, or three of you agree, then there should be no problem. Everybody should be happy, because why? He wants two women. Y'all are okay with it. Now y'all are in a, what is it? Polygamous relationship.
But that rarely happens. Very rarely are people upfront.
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas. In the Bahamas.
Because
we don't have a culture of honesty.
At some of these other places, these women, if a man could afford multiple women and to take care of the household with these multiple women, they accept it.
Yes.
But remember that we don't have a culture. We don't have a culture of people being forthright and open in relationships.
So it goes back to corruption.
Yeah. So it goes right back to what we do. Like I said, you know, most people, we don't even date. I was just having this conversation right before we got in here, but I told people, like, the problem that we have is a guy meets a girl, and because we on the island, apparently, it looked like as soon as you meet them, you're all two dating, and without any positive confirmation, you've entered into a relationship pretty much exclusively without being exclusive, because if the man sees someone else that he actually wants or he wanted before her, he still pursues her. And if the woman sees someone she wanted before the man, she may think to pursue the person.
That's an open relationship almost.
But then in the presence of the public, we trying to maintain the public perception of me and you together. But me and you together, and I looking at this next guy and looking at this next guy, and she together and she looking at this next dude. But because me and you had sex, or me and you been out on a date, now all of a sudden we together. But we ain't really ever decided to be together. We just it was a relationship. It was a relationship forged out of convenience.
Yeah, you fall. Okay.
So you're not together.
Because of our culture. But I'm saying our culture dictates that. Because like I said, I meet this girl. I meet Jessica today. Me and Jessica go to the fry. I take Jessica to the fry today, right? As Jessica, two friends see me and say, "Girl, you look good." Boom. Now that's Jessica boyfriend. Jessica didn't ask me to be a boyfriend, you know. Jessica called me for 2 weeks. Jessica boyfriend. Now if Jessica see me with L, then, or somebody else see me with L, they know I still dating and I open, you know, as far as they're concerned. I cheating on Jessica with Elle, but me and Jessica ain't in a relationship. I'm saying you that's how our culture dictates that. We don't, you know, we never adjusted that.
Child, you don't right? Oh, sorry. When I meet them, I let them know up front I am dating. We are not in no relationship. I am dating. I just let you know from the get-go, because if I go to this restaurant today, and that's why I think customer service classes are so important. You'll have a waiter see you Ontario out on a date. Then you decide to go back to that same restaurant tomorrow.
Don't go to the same one.
Girl, you and you again?
Don't go to the same one.
Oh no, my thing is I should be able to go wherever I want to go.
No.
People need to mind their own business.
Don't go to the same one.
I mean, if you did the same thing in the States, again, familiarity would cause any waiter or waitress to recognize or acknowledge your presence in the restaurant. Again, you may be offended by it because you're taking everything and you're eating there, but that ain't their fault. That's your fault. Like Elle said, go somewhere else if you don't want to get recognized.
Please. I don't agree with that. All you gotta do is say, "Good evening, sir. Good evening, mom. What do you want?"
So you expect someone? Hold on. You expect the server to respect your new anonymity? When you come in there smiling and grinning up, you want tip and do all. So you want them to come in and forget you every time you come in, like 50 first dates?
Yeah.
You know you're wrong for that. That's
I'm
impossible.
not wrong because
you're asking them to go against what they've been trained to do. When they do Bahama Host and all these things,
but
when you become a waiter, you get trained to memorize people and remember people. That's what you get done. That's what it's for.
When I was trained,
that's also quality service when they remember you.
Yeah,
but that's another thing. That's what I said. When I was training at Bahama, when I was a dealer, I remember specifically they said to us, they said similar to just what I just said. They like, do not address, like, you know what I mean, like, do not be personally address these people too much.
But you have to remember though, a casino environment is very different than a restaurant environment.
Exactly.
And even though I understand what you're saying, I still would suggest that just for a cleaner situation, just don't go there like very soon after you went there the first time.
Just don't take two niggas that back to back in the same week. Take somebody else.
Nishka, what's
go somewhere else.
Okay.
What's your 2 cents?
Bothered by the view in Ontario says culture. You know what I mean? Because my thing is, me and the circle that I run with, we don't subscribe to that type of behavior. And I'm not even talking necessarily from a believing standpoint, even though that's what I am. My whole thing is, so when you say a culture of this is how we are and all that different stuff, that I truly do not want to be labeled by that. I don't see myself in that.
Me too, I agree.
Yeah, I don't. So
don't get me
wrong. I don't want to see me as a woman, a Bahamian woman. The first thing they think, oh, well, you know, the Bahamian women, they stack and this how they are and all that different stuff, because that's not what I subscribe to. And the people in my circle, that's not what I subscribe to. So I have a problem with considered a cultural behavior.
I second that motion.
I'm happy to hear that from both of y'all. I'm happy to hear that from both of y'all that you don't ascribe to it, but not.
I don't own that culture either. No,
I get it. Not ascribe. I mean, let's be realistic. Like I said, you could take the generalized aspect of this whole thing that I'm saying, right? Take a look, and you could count. If you got people in your family, count 10, and if 10 ain't, if count how much out of 10 is doing what it is. It's something that when I say that, I mean you look at what people accept. Like when something is not a cultural norm, it is ostracized, it is rejected, it is, you know how people treat things. Like when, you know, we ain't gonna speak about them, but when certain parties tried to come here and certain councils gone crazy and there's marches and riots and all these things for something that we did not want to accept as a part of our culture, when in other cases, it just goes by. People accept it. People welcome the other people into the house.
But you know what the culture more reflects? It more reflects that we are a passive people. And it's almost like everything buck up go. Like,
that's right.
What is it? We on island?
Yeah, that's the problem. And I think that people aren't raising their standards for a lot of things.
And that is what the problem is. Because
That's the
underlying the problem, because people do have issues with those things. I ask most married women who are in a position where their husbands are house. That's not something they agree with. That's not something they want. Trust you me.
Why
they
don't
want
people just leave?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm curious.
This is what I'm saying. They don't leave.
Well, if you know that there is STDs out there, HIV, all these things, right? And I'm being real, just being real and honest. You know that these things are out there, and your husband or your wife is continuously sleeping with other people, possibly can come back and infect you with something. Why don't these people leave? Why are you?
Because they accept the slackness of, just like everything else. They just accepted. No one is willing to do anything about anything. It's just a very slack culture. I think the culture is in the slackness more than anything else.
Sorry, guys.
But let me
gotta head out.
I listen about things in a hypothetical or broad sense, but the reality is you have to truly assess things in order to get the most accurate result or accurate solution. You have to assess it accurately, first of all, okay?
Yeah.
And which takes patience. A lot of times, even in instances where women are staying in relationships, sometimes they may not even have the necessary economic wherewithal or financial wherewithal to leave that relationship. Okay? Not necessarily that they want to endure what they're dealing with, because in all of our minds, there's an ideal view of what we want life to be. However, life may give you some cards that you are dealt with, that you have to deal with it the best way you know how to. That's not because you wanted that. That's because these are the cards that were dealt with to you, either because out of ignorance you made some decisions that you regret, or it just happened because life happens. You know what I mean? And you have to try to make the best out of it. But ideally, I think most women, and especially if you're a married woman, you want your husband to yourself. And most of these men, you will hear it a lot of times. A man could give, but they can't take. A lot of our men, they can't handle their woman being shared with another man. They can't.
And you know what? Whereas I agree with everything you just said, I think you also, though, brought to light another issue. And that is that it seems like the whole issue of wealth and prosperity, financially, economic prosperity, is more important than integrity for people to choose to stay in a very bad situation because of the financial benefits. So I think that's another issue we have to look at. What's more important to us? That we live a full and good life with integrity and values, or that we stay at a status level?
No, but what I'm talking about more specifically are those instances. Let's just say, for example, you are a housewife, especially in times past where you did not necessarily have the education level to go on your own. Your parents, you're married now, everyone dealing with their own household. You don't have any savings. This was the breadwinner, for example, your husband. Where do you go if he's doing certain things? A lot of people stay in abusive marriages, not necessarily because they are happy with what's happening, but what is the other option? There are some real drastic situations out there where the question is the other option? Where do you go?
And I don't want to talk about the exception. Let's not talk about the exception. Let's talk about what the general rule is, right? I'm still saying that people would choose to stay comfortable financially, even if they have to sacrifice their sanity or their self-worth, because they prefer to be able to say that I stayed. And that's their personal choice. They can do that. But I think if we look at the reality of the issue, that is a choice that some people make. And yes, to move away from something that's really horrible for you is hard. It's a very, it's a big step to take, but you can choose to take it. You can choose to take it and figure it out.
It is, there's a lot of variables why people stay. I have one more.
But when you stay in a situation like that, you do accept the situation.
You do accept the situation, no doubt about it. Yeah. But I'm simply saying at the end of the day, boy, having lived life at this point, a lot of things seem easier when you're out of the situation. For example, even if it is that I'm advising someone, if somebody comes to me as a friend and says, Nishka, give me advice on something, right? I will give them my honest advice. But one of the things I always allow, which a lot of people don't like to do, is to give people room to understand that they have to make the final decision, because only you want living in. You telling somebody, oh yeah, come out of that, or whatever the case may be, and they may find themselves coming out of the frying pan into a fire. You understand? Because at the end of the day, reality also consists, and sometimes it's wrong application, mind you, but reality also consists of compromise. You understand? Some people may feel, you know, I'm compromising for my children. I have young children in this household. Some people may really not have some place to go. You call it the exception rather than the rule, but the reality is, without having figures or statistical data on this particular type of thing, who knows what is in fact the exception as opposed to the rule in this instance? Who truly knows?
That's true. That's you have a point.
Who knows?
I have one last question, then we can wrap it up for the night. I just want your reaction to this video, and then we go on for the
difference
night.
When you say a man is your boyfriend and your man is a husband. If he's my husband, I might do his laundry. But for me, a boyfriend, no laundry. No, I don't do things that I believe wife will do, because I'm not a wife.
But if you're never going to get married, then what? But if you're never going to get married, then what?
How does that apply to you?
No, because then I'm not doing that. I'm a girlfriend. I do girlfriend stuff. You wives, y'all do wife stuff. You fiancés, you do fiancé
I know,
stuff.
But I don't want the wife to have to come with certain expectations that I have to do that. No.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah, I'm like,
so if I get married to Jim, I'm expected to do his laundry?
Listen, this is old school. Will he buy the cow if he's getting the milk for free?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Y'all be spoiling these men too much.
Guys, again, it's whatever you want it to be. Every relationship you're in, it's what you want it to be. It's the precedent that you set.
No, don't say that.
Because I know plenty of women and wives that don't do laundry.
But I'm saying in the beginning, when you have a beginning relationship, do not try acting like a wife. That's what I'm saying. If you know you want to get married, and you know you want to get this man, don't be giving him everything and acting like a wife. You're not a wife. Act like a girlfriend. And it's certain things a girlfriend should do. It's certain things. And then once you get married, you can decide whether you want to do his laundry and all this other kind of stuff. Because to me, when you get married, y'all a family. Y'all might have kids. So yeah, you going to wash everybody's stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like, if we just girlfriend and boyfriend, I'm not doing stuff that a wife is going to do. Difference when you say.
So, I see she's shaking your head. But here's the question. What are wifely duties, and should men expect wifely duties at the girlfriend phase?
If I may, first of all, I don't think that people should expect anything from the other person. Everything is up to the other person. They can choose to do what they feel, and we can make decisions accordingly. But I have a question for the lady on the video who's saying that she should not be doing wifely duties as a girlfriend, but I'm wondering if she has engaged intimately with the man.
Most likely, yes.
So
isn't that a wifely duty?
Clearly it is.
Yes,
in my view, my mantra was, or how I felt about dating at the time for me. If for me it was very simple. If you were a guy, I had to see you as someone who I would want to be married to, and vice versa.
My next question, so you jump on the head, but go ahead. Because hold on. You know what? Let me ask the next question one time, so y'all, because you then jump on the head. Because I was waiting for that. But here's the other question: what are some husband duties that women expect men to do when when he's only the boyfriend? There are husband duties women expect men to do, or would like them to do when they're only the boyfriend.
See, my thing is this, Jonathan. My thing is this: at the end of the day, it's almost like pregnancy. Before the baby is delivered, you go through the process of gestational periods, right? The different stages of pregnancy before the manifestation of that, or the baby is delivered. Okay? In my mind, marriage is the manifestation of a process that begins with you seeing somebody, feeling a level of attraction, and then it evolves. That friendship evolves with a view to marriage. Okay? That is what I wanted for my life. Okay? I never wanted for my life, especially in a society where a lot of times we may try to say, oh, the rules for men and women are slightly different. Okay, socialize. Okay, so I'm not even playing this delusional game as if it's the same. Certainly not in the generation that I grew up in. Okay, my view is, or my view particularly was before marriage, I'm not wasting any time in like manner, having any man waste my time unless he views me. He sees some attributes about me that says, wow, this is somebody I could see me marrying. Now, it might be over the process of time, after it evolves, just as some pregnancies is terminated. When I say terminated, the person may miscarry, for example. Stillbirth, there might be instances where it does not come to what it is ideally envisaged it should have been. But nevertheless, the goal in mind should be that. So if you see me as just a man coming to me and I could perceive, or vice versa, that he only into a game, you can't be talking to me. Now, I don't mean in the stage of time, in the very beginning, we necessarily putting all of our resources in one bank account. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to do certain things straight out of the gate. It's a process. You understand? But the bottom line is the mentality and the mindset should be geared toward that process being achieved. That's
so.
And I think to add to that, I do think that there should be a match or a commonality in what each party is doing. I don't think that one person should be in one direction and the other person is going in another direction.
Not. Absolutely not. Exactly. Absolutely not.
So just circle around to the question right quick before we go. What are, like the video said, what are some wifely duties? What are wifely duties?
I don't even like the concept duties. Marriage is a partnership. And so you're supposed to be really living life together in a partnership. So I don't like when a relationship is reduced to duties. And I think I agree with her. She was saying that it's a process and you go through the process together because you both have pure intentions and you're both trying to come together and be one. That's what it's about. It's not about duties, and it's not about expectations. It's about communication and making sure that you're on the same page and you're honest and open with each other. To me, that's more so what it's about than the duty aspect of it.
Okay. So my last tidbit to this, and I'll let you guys go. So basically, to summarize it, both parties or both genders gotta show some type of action to make you want to marry them or take it to another step.
Well, you know what I've found too, Jonathan, is that it's more so they say, and this is obviously what I'm saying is what's the word I'm trying to look for? Anyway, it's a stereotypical view, a generalized view. But I've always heard the view that a man knows exactly which category he places that woman in, whether or not he wants Aria he sees her as someone who he would like to see as a wife, or whether or not he sees that someone is just okay, it's just sexual attention and I want you sexually. And this is where people and we have to understand the differences as well. You understand? What type of attention are you truly getting? Where's it going to take you? You know what I mean? Whether you only seeing me based on what it looks like from the outward appearance, so you just want that as a superficial thing, or you see something more meaningful. But my thing is, at the end of the day, I just think, guess what, guys? This is embarrassing, but I somewhat forgot the question that you were asking just at that moment. but the point is,
but what you said goes both ways. It goes some men and women. Some women also, they look at a man and they put them in categories as well. So it goes both ways. People put the opposite gender in a category.
Al, you're absolutely correct. Because, for me, even so, I feel like during that period, I looked at certain people with certain attributes and I know what I generally desired in a mate,
Yeah.
And it goes from there. It truly goes from there, really.
So basically, there's this concept of wifely duties and husband duties in a boyfriend stage. You guys don't view it like that.
At the end of the day, I understand the superficial meaning behind it in terms of wifely duties, but I would go back to the point that Ellen made when she was saying what questions she would have asked her. Because if you're giving your body to a man, you might as well give him everything else because your body's the most valuable
thing. That is
thing.
Everything.
Good point.
That is if you
everything.
You gave him everything. You understand?
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So
I become your wife. Once that happens, I'm your wife.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a wife.
Really, you just sealing the deal right there. And it's even worse when you bring children into the mix. You understand what I'm saying? When you bring children into a mix, into a temporary situation, we just have to think a lot more. We have to think a lot more as it relates to these different things, because the reality is a lot of times we know that it's all about something superficial and we still going after it. Maybe it seems popular at the time or whatever the case may be. But the reality is we know who we consider as someone we would want to spend the rest of our lives with, both male and female.
I think to add to that, I think when you're talking about duties, people may not realize it, but they're really now referring to the game. It's now a game. Whenever you're talking about duties, you're playing a game and you're trying to, maybe one person is trying to get ahead of the next person, or they're trying to impress or deceive. To me, that's what that's attached to. But I think that when you're talking about a man or a woman who, before they even meet someone, they know that they're ready to meet someone. I think that this person is going to take a different approach to finding a mate. They're not going to go from it, at it from that sort of mindset of which duties are we going to be exchanging.
Yeah.
Fox, you want to get in this before we close out for the night? You're talking about wifely duties and husband duties.
First off, I apologize again. I don't know when I fell asleep, and I literally woke up and saw the time and hit you up. So,
welcome to the land of the living.
Thank you so much. I was up all day trying to finish up for Carifta, but in a sense, I like. I'm trying to see the name, Anishka. Yeah, I agree with Anishka. What she was saying about she understands the superficial aspect of it, right? But at the end of the day, it still comes down to the two persons involved, their strengths and weaknesses, how you can help each other. Who's ever strong in this area, you take control of that. Who's ever weaker, you kind of give the reins to the person who's more, adapt to being able to handle a situation better, and you take advice from each other from, situations like that. Now, I do think naturally we end up doing certain stuff. Like, for instance, let's say naturally a guy is supposed to protect. When you're with someone that you really love and you see them as that woman, I don't think you have to convince any guy, hey, you should protect her. Your body is just going to move. You know what I mean? And I think naturally for women, even before you even think about the wife aspect, when you start to really fall for a guy, you're going to start thinking about his well-being. If he ate or if he needs anything like you could help out with to make his life a little easier. So I think naturally we don't necessarily need the terms like wifey and husband duties per se. I think those two could interchange Once you start to put someone's well-being before yourself, once you're worrying about how you can make their life a little easier, once you're thinking about even how they can impact your life, then you start to look at them more as a life partner than just, okay, I like being around this person, but we just dating. So yeah, that would be my 5 cents on it.
And I think that goes back to what Anishka was saying about the process, is that the process develops. And I love her analogy of a pregnancy. It develops until it's time for the manifestation, which in this case would be the marriage. So I think what he's saying is very similar to what you were saying, Anishka, and that makes complete sense.
Thank you.
Listen, it's late. Thank you guys for taking a second out of your busy schedules to come out. Cohen, thanks for coming. I know it is.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Nishka. I appreciate it. I'm not sure if I'm doing this next week, but I'll let you guys know. But I appreciate it. And listen, what I was asking in the group is, if you have any topics that you guys want to discuss, I would like to. I'm open to suggestions. But once again, great discussion. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully, enjoy your holiday.
Good night.
Enjoy your holiday.
I even forget it's a holiday. Wow.
Yeah, Easter. Go to church. Eat your hot cross bun. You like your hot cross
Fry your fish.
I don't know if I hop on any fish or whatever, but Al, you ain't been on the line. Al, use it on the line.
Send them a check. You have to make sure they give you a check now.
Al, use it on the long line. No.
You should know the answer.
Good night, guys. You have a nice night.
Good night.
Good.